So the goal of coaching with spiritual intelligence is to connect with the client with his or her true nature, true self. Who am I? Life purpose, core values, and enable the client not only to achieve the goals, but also to create harmony and lasting, meaningful happiness, meaningful life. It is not about the life of a pleasure. It is not only a life of a success. It is not only a life of a money, but a meaningful life. It evokes awareness in the client, which is beyond the body, mind, and the limited personal identity. That is the value addition of spiritual intelligence in coaching. So, what are the steps? So, establish connection, right? So, the same steps, same coaching process. But in the establishing the connection, a spiritual intelligence coach understands the coachee as a person and a being. What is the worldview of the coachee? Belief system, value, strength, life purpose, behavioral profile, attitude. What is the identity of my client? And the connection is with the identity. Connection is with the purpose. Connection is with the values. Then the outcome. So the outcome has to be related to the purpose. Otherwise, why you want to achieve that? If it is not directly or indirectly related to your purpose or the long-term objective, it's a wastage of time. Everything has to be directly or indirectly related to your purpose of life. What is the larger picture? Why coachee want to achieve what he or she want to achieve? So outcome has to be related to not only the temporary problem or the temporary goal, but directly or indirectly related to the purpose as well. So you relate outcome with the life purpose in case of the spiritual intelligence coaching. I'm not saying every time you as a coach has to be fixed, that is, I must do it. Sometimes the coachee can come up with a simple technique, tool, process related problem or goal. All right. It is not necessary that every time you have to use this particular process only and this is a writing on the wall. No, no, no. You take the larger picture of this particular process. What this process is telling you is the meaning. Once you understand the intent behind the spiritual intelligence coaching model, you will know what to apply, when to apply. And then comes a discovery phase. So what you have to discover? Discover the truth. Discover the who client is. Coach the who of the client, not what, not only how. Coach the who of the client. So the coachee's identity and Atman intelligence, which I am going to just brief you in few minutes. So evoke awareness about the identity and the true nature of the client. Once you do it, that's it. Then client is not going to come back to you for any problem or any goal. Now client has understood his true nature and true potential. Now you have transformed client's life. You means the client will transform his or her life and you will be the catalyst in that particular process. And then comes Atman intelligence intervention. So the spiritual intelligence, the model of MML is called as Atman intelligence. So Atman intelligence, there are a variety of the interventions. So how to co-design actions to achieve purposeful goal and the real calling. Every one of us has a real calling. Every one of us serves a purpose. And there are then variety of the activities, exercise and reflections related to the Atman intelligence. And that results into a growth of a coachee. That is the real intent. Real intent is not to give fish, but to coach how to fish. So you grow client by empowering and supporting client to grow as a being, not only as a doing, not only as a work, not only as a task or project or problem or goal, but as a being. Growth as a being is the final outcome of spiritual intelligence coaching. So what is this Atman intelligence model? So at core is the Atman, who you are truly. What is your life purpose and values? What are your beliefs and worldviews? And what are your core strengths? Because life is too short to make yourself perfect and improve on all the things. But you are born with some core strengths. So focus on that. That is at the core of the Atman intelligence. And then how you are thinking. Is your thinking conscious, positive, adaptive, innovative? How you are acting in your life. Is it collaborative? Are you working on continuous improvement? Are you focusing on the process, wherein the result is the byproduct of a process? Are you doing some social contribution because we are all interconnected? What is your being? That is, what is the client's being? Is client grateful, mindful, empathetic, and resilient? Because if the client is grateful, mindful, empathetic, and resilient, client has the key to all the issues and the goals in his or her life. So the key is in the being. But being is you. But are you the being? No. You are part of the divine, pure, infinite consciousness. So you are already universal being. So how you will give back to the society? How you will have the positive impact on the society? By following sustainability, diversity, inclusion, cross-cultural sensitivity, and you becoming a global citizen. Not only working for your caste, creed, community, but thinking for the humanity. So this is the crux of the Atman intelligence. So when we talk about the client growth, I am talking about this growth in the thinking, doing, being, and being universal being.